Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I'm at Walmart picking up a couple odds and ends, and I just saw something I would have purchased had I been going to training as a new flight attendant. And I'm thinking, well, why don't I make a little video of things I would buy at Walmart in preparation to go to training? These are things that are really affordable, that you're probably going to burn through, you'll never use again. So why spend a lot of money, right? So let me show you a few things I'd buy here at Walmart if you're going to training. All right, so first thing, a mini stapler. Really important. You're going to get a lot of papers during training, and to keep them in order, a little stapler. I brought one of these with me to training, and I think I passed it around to practically everybody at one point or another in training. Blank index cards, so you can make flashcards. The challenge is for me is to find thick enough cards, because the first ones I bought were super thin, and if I used a marker I could read through the card. So either find a really thick card or use a pen instead of a marker. But I carried one of these around for probably 3 or 4 weeks before I went to training. It's a little teeny thing of cards on a hook, a little ring here with a marker. I actually had one of these. They were all white, and I wrote all of my city codes and terminology on 2 of these, and I carry them around everywhere. In the grocery store, at the laundromat, I was flipping through these cards, studying my city codes and my terminology and abbreviations. Super handy, super handy. I got mine were all white, but I'd pick up a few of these. So I also brought along post-it notes, little flags, and different tabs to put on study guides, papers, things like that, just to kind of highlight things I had to go back to or important sections of paperwork. I found them useful, you may not. I brought a binder very much like this. This is a 1-inch. You could bring a 2-inch, but I think the 1-inch was fine for me. The cover of this is where you can slide in a sheet. I think on the front of mine, I kept my schedule for what, tests and when homework was due and things like that. Super handy. So notebooks, 1-subject notebooks, take a couple, multi-subject notebooks, take a couple of composition books. I used a lot of loose leaf paper and put it in a separate binder like this, so I could organize my notes. But looking back, I think I would have preferred a couple spiral notebooks, but definitely you're going to be taking a lot of notes. And take pens. I'm not going to show you pens, but I think for me, those gel pens were much easier to write with quickly. The ink was very fluid and it dried fast. So whatever pen you like, that's going to write easily and quickly, because you're going to be taking notes, a lot of notes. All right, now this is one of the most important things I bought for preparation for training. I don't know if I use these during training, but before training, if you ever watched a video about how I study for schematics, these I actually found the ultra fine tip. These are the fine tip, but try and find the ultra fine tip. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but these are really important. Highlighters I used during the entire of training. Any of them would work. I used these, they're like a crayon version of a highlighter, but any of them would work. You're gonna need them though. Right, now this is something that I found indispensable in preparing for training. So with these sheet protectors, especially for schematics, city codes, different abbreviations and terminology, the sample sheets that the airline would give me in preparation for training, I would put inside sheet protectors, which I would then put inside my binder. And learning how to memorize schematics, I'm sure I told you guys what I used to do. I would put the sample test for schematics inside one side, and the other side a blank copy of the test. And then I would use a dry erase marker to fill in the test, the blank test sheet on top of this sheet protector, and every time I made a mistake, I'd wipe it clean. I'd start over again. It was tedious, but I learned my schematics very well. But sheet protectors were super important. In fact, I think I put pretty much anything the airline gave me during training that I was going to have to come back to into a sheet protector and put it in my binder. So I would always have it ready at my fingertips. And it was easier to flip through sheet protectors than it was to flip through sheets of paper that were tearing and blah, blah, blah. So I found sheet protectors to be invaluable. All right, so at my airline, we had very strict instructions on what we could and could not wear during training. And it was black or yellow, of course, long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt, a black or yellow polo shirt, black pants, or a pair of khaki pants. That's it. That was the uniform. And so I think I brought like 3 pair of these black pants by George. They didn't have a little zipper here, but I had 3 pair of these, and I think I brought like 5 of their black polo shirts by George, the same company. I think I bought my belt here, and I think I bought my shoes here as well. I didn't remember there being an easy way to do a lot of laundry. So I would rather bring 3 pairs of pants and like 5 or 6 shirts to make it easy so I could, you know, do laundry when I could. Call your hotel ahead of time if you're going to training and see what their laundry situation is like, so you can figure out how much you should bring with you to training, like clothes, underwear, socks. You know, should you bring a boatload of these cheap clothes? Or should you bring laundry detergent with you? You know, dry, of course. But yeah, ask your hotel. For your training center, I just realized, like, my company right now uses hotels for us to stay in during training, but we're eventually going to build a housing unit for trainees eventually. But your airline, you might be with a bigger airline, might have a training center or a hotel. So ask them about your laundry situation. And this is very similar to what my first rollerboard was. This one is $79. It's a little bit nicer looking than my first bag, but my first bag was also American Tourister. It lasted me probably a year, if not longer. I would have kept using it, except the fabric on the side, one of the van drivers threw it on something like, I don't know, something punctured the side of the bag. And eventually I decided just to splurge on a new one. But this bag would have lasted me for a couple years, I'm sure. It's a 21-inch spinner. I'm not a fan of spinners. I'm really not a fan of luggage with 4 wheels. I always prefer 2 wheels, and most full-time flight attendants do. But this bag will suit you just fine, I can promise you, for the first year or longer. So that's a bag here at Walmart, 79 bucks. Side note, don't let anybody guilt you or peer pressure you into buying a bag you can't afford. For some reason, a lot of flight attendants are super happy with themselves that they can afford Briggs & Riley bags. I'm not that person. But, you know, so don't feel any pressure to go out and spend a boatload of money on a suitcase until you can afford to spend that money on a suitcase. Okay, so don't let people peer pressure you into getting a bag you can't afford. All right, now I'm overthinking things, but this is frog tape, any kind of painter's tape. And why would I take that? I would take it because if I had to do training over again, I would use painter's tape or something and make a fake door, like on my bathroom door or a closet door. I would make like a fake airplane door with all the features of my door, and I would practice doing my emergency drills in my hotel room on my little fake airplane door. I know that sounds overkill, but I was doing that in my hotel room with like post-it notes. So if I had taken some painter's tape, I would have like outlined a door with a little window, a little viewing window, my door control handle, my arming, disarming handles, my FAP. I would make little buttons on the back behind wherever I was sitting. I'd make a whole airplane door to practice my emergency drills. Just saying. Bye. Hey guys, hi, Future Steven here. I was editing this video and I realized I didn't film really anything or talk about that extension cord or that power strip that I showed you for like 4 seconds. Very distracting right now is my bald spot, the back of my head. If you've not been to my channel before, I bought a house and it's in Vegas, and that means there's like 35 feet of mirror. All right, so totally off topic. I'm sorry, but a power strip or a extension cord, ideally that has a couple power USB ports on that as well. In your hotel room or your training center, you're going to have to charge your phone, your tablet, your if you have a smartwatch, if you have your noise canceling headphones, all sorts of stuff. You're going to want to charge those things, and I'll tell you, especially if you have to share a room at some point in training, there are never enough outlets. And then when you get on the line and you're traveling for a living, you're going to want that power cord with you as well, because I'll tell you, some hotel rooms are very thoughtful about where their power strips are or their outlets, and then some hotels, they're like, did you even think about putting in an outlet anywhere? The one outlet is across the room. So I carry my extension cord little power strip number, but I also carry 10-foot power cords for my phone and for my tablet, my work tablet. So I can charge those things from wherever the outlet is, and I can be in bed, literally charging my phone or my tablet or something. So I never want to go without a fully charged phone, of course, and I can't fly legally without a fully charged tablet. So blah, blah, blah. I'm going on and on, but I do apologize for not filming or talking a little bit more about that power strip. All right, so back to the video. These aren't super cute, but I would take a big water bottle with you to training. Because you may not have opportunities to take water breaks and things like that, and you have to get used to drinking a lot of water, because as a flight attendant, girl, your life depends on it, trust me. So these aren't cute. They have tons more in a different section of the store, but I didn't want to forget to say to bring a water bottle to training. This is in the camping section. This is a little flatware set. It's really sturdy. It's 88 cents. So, grab a couple of these for your lunch bag. I doubt TSA would take that knife, but these would be super handy, and that's a lot better than the plastic cutlery we start to collect as a flight attendant. And the less plastic cutlery you use, better for the planet, right? So 88 cents, I'd pick up a couple of these. I might grab one of these today. All right, something I can't seem to find are little miniature flashlights. It's the little teeny ones that are powered by like a little watch battery or something. I can't seem to find them. I know they sell them, but it's one of the required items in my airline, and we had to have one when we went to training. I've since moved up to a little teeny tiny mag light because I don't have to keep holding the button for it to work, but I found those little miniature flashlights handy, and they were almost nothing, like $1 or something. I just can't find them now. So this isn't necessary, but it's a luggage scale, and when I was going to training, I was allowed to take my suitcase for work, my rollerboard, but also 2 regular size suitcases. And seeing that I was going to go right to base after training, I wasn't going to go back to my friend's house in Atlanta. So I took advantage of every bag I could carry. Those bags couldn't weigh over 40 pounds, so I needed a scale to help me figure out how much that weighs. And I found it useful, and I still would use it if I were traveling for leisure on another airline, so I could sort of pack a bag and know how much it weighs, blah, blah, blah. So not required, but something I bought. Makes me think of one thing I would not buy. And I remember a YouTuber named Fierceness saying, suggesting that you buy these things. I would suggest you not buy these things. Luggage locks. Little locks for your bags and luggage. If TSA has to go through your bags, or if you have to get randomed and they have to open your bag for some reason, it's just a giant pain in the butt. And unless you're traveling non-rev with someone else's airline and you're checking a bag, for example, there's no reason to lock your luggage, especially if it's your luggage on the plane that you're working on. Like, usually you can see your luggage from wherever you're sitting on the airplane. So I would not buy luggage locks. Hangers, I would buy hangers. I'd bring a handful of hangers because your hotel room or your training center room is not going to have enough hangers. I'd also buy or bring at least a couple of these with the clips on them, so you can hang your pants, whatever you're going to hang, skirts. Also, if you're a real, MacGyver kind of guy, you can use these clips on the window curtains if your room is too bright. So you can use this as a way to close the curtains, but also to hang up your skirts or pants, things like that. Oh, these are nice. They have little silicone bits on them. But I would get extra hangers. I'd bring just like a handful. Can you hear that roar in the background? That's a plane taking off. This Walmart's right next to the airport. All right, so I'm making my way to the bus stop. I'm going to miss the bus. It's going to pass by just as I get to the street. I know it will. But that was by no means a comprehensive list of things I would take to training. But if you're going to be at Walmart anyway and you want to save a few bucks on things you're definitely going to want to use, those are some things I would grab if I were at Walmart. Again, that's not a comprehensive list of things that you will need. So I think I've made a video years ago about what I took to training or what I would take to training. I should probably do that video over again because, I took everything and the kitchen sink with me. I would probably edit that video down, that list down a little bit. But those things I showed you tonight are definitely things I would grab. Are there things that you think that you should have taken with you if you're already a flight attendant? For some reason you're watching this video, are there things that you missed or did not take with you that I did not include in this video? So leave a comment below. And for those people who are going to training, congratulations. And if you haven't gone to training and you haven't gotten offered a CAGO yet, keep working at it. It'll happen in its own time. All right, I'm gonna stop yammering away so I don't miss this next bus, and so I'll talk to you later. Fly safe.